Okay, so with the seniors' money, we funded the Coboconk area food bank seniors. We have a number of clients who are seniors, and so we purchased food and supplies. For example, our meat supplier dried up in the pandemic, and so we had to purchase our meat out of pocket. And we also, a number of our clients use Insure, which of course is very expensive, and we had a limited amount of that, so we got to purchase that with the United Way money. Adult incontinence products, we go through a lot of those, and then also all the PPE for the seniors. They were very concerned because they, of course, we had to go outside, we had to, and we supplied them with masks and gloves and even face shields if they wanted one. We said, just in order to keep them coming. And also we had to change, we also spent some money on seating with that money because the seniors had to wait outside because we could only come in one at a time, and we didn't have adequate outdoor seating. So we had to buy fairly sturdy, easy to move in and out and store furniture, chairs. Well, as I said, the CAFB had a meat supplier. And so again, because it dried up, we knew we were going to either have to spend out of pocket. So we were looking for funding to help us with that because it's expensive. Also, because our seniors need products that aren't readily available, and with the cost of things going up, like even in our grocery store, things like the senior products that I mentioned, those prices were increasing. And of course, it was very difficult to get them. And when we purchased that stuff, like the local grocery stores before the pandemic were happy to sell us 4 or 5 boxes of Insure, but they were like, no, you're not allowed to have all that stuff from our shelves because we have nothing on our shelves. Right. So that really helped us because we were able to purchase that. Like we still had to go roaming around the different grocery stores, but we did manage to get enough to help them. And again, all the PPE was an additional expense for us. So. I think the biggest benefit was uninterrupted service. So we got to continue to provide the services to our seniors, which honestly, that was a big thing. And a lot of our seniors were very concerned about the food bank shutting down. And we did everything to keep it open, including, anyway, we bent over backwards, but we just didn't, because there's a lot of anxiety, especially in a rural community with they have limited services. So let's just keep it going. So that was kind of the huge benefit to this grant. So the continuation. Well, we have had an increase in clients. We are serving very differently. Clients used to come in and just be able to come in, access, check off everything they wanted on a list, and then we would pack it. But because of course, social distancing, we have way fewer volunteers because our space is not large. So we had to go to pre-packing. So we pre-packed stuff like pasta, soups, canned vegetables, stuff like that they always ask for, obviously. And then we had a short list that actually one of the volunteers, usually me, I went outside to their cars and I would check off the extra stuff and stuff that we were purchasing, like optional products. And then we would just pack that limited amount. So we only needed a few volunteers. So it was well received, and we're not sure we're even going to go back to the old way because it's much more efficient and people are quite happy with it. So that's changed. I think what I've learned or reaffirmed is community services are really important. They're especially important right now through the pandemic, and the volunteers and the clients benefited from community services. Like we worked with the health unit, we worked with you, of course, to get additional funding to keep our program going. And we worked with the Chamber of Commerce because we had to follow all the guidelines and do all the signage and everything. And I also think the community services in our area, in the Coboconk area, it's really important because, as I said, these and especially the seniors, but all of our clients felt very isolated when we shut down. And we are this, like, is there anyone out there for us? And we could refer them to, like, we referred them to places like the health unit and actually women's resources, et cetera. So it's really, I think it's heightened in the pandemic, but in our area, I think they're always very important. Priorities is continuation of service for sure, and adapting our environment, because we struggled a little bit this winter because we have some people on foot, so we had to let them in, of course, because we weren't going to let them wait in the cold. Some people had their cars and they could keep them running to wait for their services, but others were on, so we had to adapt our space. And as I said, we have such a limited number of volunteers now, like we're less than half, not because the volunteers don't want to, but because we can't fit them all in that little room, kind of thing. So I think that's kind of the important thing, is just to keep it all as calm and the same as possible. Okay. Well, we measure it. We actually have a tracking system with the food bank. So we track it online every month. And so what it does is it outlines how many meals we've served to people each food bank day. And so that's basically how we do it. And we also do a revamp of what products we have in stock, and so we say what's working, what isn't working. That's the other piece that we do on an ongoing basis.
Okay.
So, and what do clients want as well?
Right.
So. I think again, it's the reduced anxiety and it's the feeling of community, and if they know that there's a sure thing there, and that the food insecurity is really big, and especially during the pandemic with the cost of food. And I mean, I've seen that personally, not just the cost, but the shortages. Like, we have had shortages up here, right? Well, everywhere. So I think it's the food security and just knowing that they're part of a community, and they can't get out 1 week, so we deliver, or 2 weeks, and we deliver. And so just so that they know we're here. And I think food is a big thing when you're shut in.